Okay, so let me address the elephant in the room. I know my mic sounds awful. It sounds like I have a cold. If I continue to voice over videos, I'll try to attain a better one. So, as you can tell by the video, I'm redesigning a character from the comic book I'm Not Starfire, which I know has been talked to death about, but I thought it would be fun to redesign her. One of the biggest gripes people seem to have about the comic was how the main character, aka Starfire's daughter / Mandy, looked. She mostly just looks like a self-insert of the author, which is why she kind of looks like a frumpy 40-year-old woman. Not trying to be mean, but that's just how I see it. She also basically has no qualities of Starfire, which is what I tried to do in my design. For example, I gave Mandy the iconic orange skin and green eyes Starfire has, and I gave her similar looking bangs from the teenage Starfire from Teen Titans. And I also tried to make her look like the teenage Starfire from Teen Titans, since she is a teenager in the comic. Not a lot of people had a problem, Now a lot of people had a problem with Mandy's weight, which I get. There's nothing wrong when having an obese character or an overweight one, but it just doesn't make sense because this is the daughter of Starfire and Robin we're talking about. It would only make sense for her to be more fit and athletic, especially given both parents' superhero backgrounds and the constant training. Now, I have heard that the father could be the Penguin, and if that's the case, then it actually makes sense why Mandy looks the way she does. But I would still like to see some features from Starfire. I decided to keep the goth aspects from her because I still wanted to stay somewhat true to the design of the original. But to be frank, my main issue aren't the goth aspects, but just the fact that she looks nothing like Starfire. Now, I thought I would talk about how the comic looks. Okay, so if I had to be honest, I don't think it's that bad. It's definitely a more childlike art style, which is cute, but it seems like something that 6th graders would read instead of adults. If that's something that they were going for, reaching a more younger audience, I think this works well. But it's also still possible for adults to pick this up too, given the iconic DC brand. But again, if you've seen basically some of the videos talking about the book, it's very unlikely. I have to give her credit for this though. The way she draws Starfire's hair is absolutely gorgeous. It just looks amazing. It's just wow. I know it's a really small nitpick. A really small detail, but it's just so pretty. Also, you look at some of the panels in the comic book, they look competently made, so they're overall appealing. I like the soft look of the art style, and it looks cute, especially in this panel. The flowers are very well drawn and pretty. I also enjoyed this panel and how the illustrator drew space. The colors and the layout just work so well in this image. I feel like my only gripe with the art is just how Mandy looks. In my opinion, for Starfire's daughter, she looks bad. Not to mention, she also doesn't look appealing in some angles, like this one. I haven't read this comic and I don't plan to. It doesn't have good ratings, and overall it comes across as a self-insert fanfic. If this comic was to continue, I feel like they could have one story where Mandy starts to get along more with Starfire's sister, has more of an interest being like her, which can add to the mother-daughter conflict in the book. But it's just an idea. Overall, the comic book looks nice, and Mandy sucks as a character design. She just looks awful, and most people seem to agree with me. Mandy is just ugh. If I had anything to change in my design, I would probably change the facial expression. It seemed a little weird to me, and probably the eyes. I had a little trouble trying to figure out how to draw them. But for a design I made reflecting Starfire's daughter and drawing wise, I think I did pretty okay, given the fact that I'm basically a beginner when it comes to digital art. And when it comes to the character design, I think I did pretty good. But feel free to let me know. Now, the rest of the video is just gonna be the speed draw of the finishing drawing of the redesign. So, thank you for watching. Bye!